Hello everyone, I'm back with another top 5 list. This time it's about our favorite Egyptian space skeletons, the Necrons. But without any further ado, let's check on my top 5 picks. I think it would be rude if I didn't start with the nobles. First one, Overlord. The Necron Overlord is a leader unit, almost like a king, who leads the Necron dynasties. As a model, he is relatively tough, usually tougher than a space marine. He is able to choose between two ranged weapons. One of them is a Staff of Light. It's an okay anti-infantry weapon with 3 shots. The other one is a Trachean arrow. It has only 1 shot, but it has really good range, amazing strength, incredible armor penetration, and d6 plus 2 damage. So between 3 and 8. Other than this, he is able to choose between 3 melee weapons. First one is the Overlord's Blade. It is a 4 attack weapon with really good strength, great armor penetration, and damage too. This one is okay. But it's also nice that he has a devastating wounds ability. So wound rolls of 6 deals mortal wounds. If you pick the Staff of Light range weapon, well then, your melee won't be much better either. It's almost the same as the shooting, but with 1 extra attack. I wouldn't pick this one. And the last option that you can pick? Void Sight. This one is the heavy hitter, but it has fewer attacks and hitting only on a 3+, not 2+ like the other two, but its strength is able to deal with vehicles or really tough opponents easily. Its armor penetration is also nice, and it is damage 3, so it can pack a punch. We checked on its leader, now let's check on its abilities. First one, My Will Be Done. Once per battle round, you are able to use a stratagem for 0 command points.
It's free real estate.
Also, you are able to use this stratagem even if you already used that stratagem in this phase, so that one is nice. The second ability, Impeccable Resilience. Every time he takes damage, he takes 1 less, but not less than 1. It's a cool survivability thing. War Gear abilities. And this one is the really great one. Resurrection Orb. While the Bearer, the Overlord, is leading a unit, you can use the reanimation protocols for that unit twice in 1 turn. At the end of your command phase, at the end of your opponent's command phase. So you're able to bring back much more guys. Other than this, he has a 4+ invulnerable save, which is amazing. He can lead Immortals, Lich Guard, and Necron Warriors. You probably want him in the biggest blob of your Necron Warriors, because then he can bring back a nasty amount of models. Also, one thing to note, if you want to bring the Resurrection Orb, then you can bring the Trachean arrow. You can pick one of those. And as much as I fancy the Trachean arrow, the orb is just much better. Okay, let's bid farewell to our Overlord and let's check on the rest of the dynasty. Let's check on our friendly neighborhood Gloctopus, or as known as Hexmark Destroyer. This one is an interesting unit. He's like to be close to its target, but not that close. First of all, he can deep strike, and he is a lone operative, which means he can't be shot at unless the unit that is shooting at him is closer than 12 inches. But the good thing, the Hexmark Destroyer's weapons, at least the important ones, have a range of 18. His weapon is Enmitic Disintegrating Pistols. These are pistols and has the ability of precision. It makes 6 shots, hitting on a 2+. It has a really good strength to kill infantry or characters. It has a 2+ armor penetration and damage 1. This probably doesn't seem much. However, when we reach his abilities, you will see why this one is really great. Okay, let's check on his melee stats. It's okay. Probably he can kill a guardsman or 2 in melee. But let's check on his abilities and let's see why he is so great. About the deep strike and the lone operative, we already talked about. Let's check on his other abilities. Inescapable Death. Once per turn, when you target this model with the Fire Overwatch stratagem, you can do it for 0 command points. So for free. And in my book, free is always good. But it's not just a free Overwatch. It's a free Overwatch that is hitting on 2+. So you have a second shooting phase now, which is nice. And its other ability? Multi-threat Eliminators. Basically, each time an enemy unit targets a friendly Necron unit within 3 of this model, after the enemy unit finished its shooting, then this model can shoot back to that enemy. As if it were your shooting phase. So theoretically, if you position him well, you have an infinite number of shots and a free Overwatch. Probably I'm not the best mathematician, but that many free stuff and the chance for infinite number of shots, or at least lots of shots, sounds great to me. Okay, let's check on the next one. Crypto Trolls. One quick thing to note. These guys are able to join friendly Cryptech infantries, and that friendly Cryptech infantry is able to join a bodyguard unit. And when this one joins the Cryptech and the Cryptech joins the bodyguard, these guys also became the bodyguards. Okay, but let's check out why these guys are great. If you check on their basic stats, well, they doesn't seem very great. They have okay toughness, and they have not bad weapons. But what can they offer other than that? Durability mostly. First of all, they have a rule of Feel No Pain 4+. So these guys are amazing for soaking up mortal wounds to your important units. But also, while they are in the unit, your Cryptek is also have a 4+ Feel No Pain. So these guys are able to protect relatively well your Cryptek against snipers. Other than this, they have a Systematic Vigor ability. Each time when this model is destroyed by a melee attack, you roll 1d6, and on a 3+, do not remove this model from play, and after all of the enemy attacks were resolved, then these models can fight. So a relatively high possibility free attacks on death. But other than that, you are also able to bring these guys back with the reanimation protocols. So you have more possibility to free attacks and bringing back 2 bodies that, thanks to the Feel No Pain, going down rather slowly. So these are your best chance to protect your valuable units and models. These are the bodyguards of the bodyguards. Okay. So they give you relatively cheap wounds to a unit and a really great survivability against mortal wounds. Okay, let's check on the next one. Necron Warriors. Yes, the plain warriors. Why they are so great? Well, not because they are so great, but because you can buff the hell out of them. The reanimation protocols, with the help of the Crypteks, with the help of the reanimator, with the help of the reanimating orb, with the integrated better reanimation of the Necron Warriors, and with the extra added survivability by the Crypto Trolls, you can make an almost unkillable unit. Or a killable unit, but your opponent has to pour so much firepower and melee into it that in the end, I don't think it will worth it for your opponent. But let's check out the Necron Warriors. These guys are your basic foot troops. The good thing is, their weapons has integrated lethal hits. So on a hit rolls of 6, you will automatically wound your target. You are able to choose between 2 types of main shooting weapons. One of them, Gauss Flayer. It has one shot, a little bit lower strength than the other weapon. It has 0 points of armor penetration, damage 1, but if you are within half range, you can add another shot due to the rapid fire, so shoot twice. Your other option, Gauss Reaper. It has a really short range of 12. It has 2 shots, strength of 5, which is starting to be on a good territory against infantry. It has 1 point of armor penetration, but then again, it's damage 1. So the thing that you have to think on, you want to shoot from further away, then pick the Gauss Flayer, or you want to shoot to closer targets with better strength and better armor penetration, but then your shooting range is relatively short. In melee, they are not so great. Each one of these guys can punch once. Okay, and let's check on their ability, and this is the one that elevates them. Their number is Legion. Each time when you activate your reanimation protocols, you reanimate D6 wounds instead of D3. So you have the potential to reanimate 6 guys, not just 3. But if you are in range of an objective marker, you reanimate D3 plus 3 guys, which is starting to become spicy. So in worst case you reanimate 4 guys, in best case you reanimate 6 guys, even before the buffs. If you just chuck an overload with a reanimation orb to that unit, in one turn you can reanimate between 8 and 12 guys, and that is just the overload with the reanimation orb. So if you want, you can add a lot more to these guys. Okay, so you can see why their numbers are endless. Okay, and let's check on the last one, Doomsday Arc. This one has an okay toughness, but it will stay alive due to its long range and invulnerable save rather than its toughness. So the Doomsday Arc is a relatively fast weapon platform with really nice guns. I'm not going to talk about its melee profile, because melee for this one is not a happy place. So let's check on the good ones. Doomsday Cannon. This weapon is blast and heavy. So if you are standing still, you will hitting better. First one, its range. It has a range of 72, which is really nice. However, its attack profile is a little bit swingy. D6 plus 1, so between 2 and 7 plus the blast. If you are not moving, it will hitting on a 2+. So its ballistic skill relatively good. It has a strength of 15, so it can deal with almost everything and anything. It has a 4+ armor penetration, which means these shots go through armor with relative ease. And the last thing, its damage is 4, so it can tear out really big chunks from its target. Other than this, it has a Gauss Flayer array, which also has the Little Hits ability and the Rapid Fire 5. I think this one is not that interesting, but basically you have 10 anti-infantry shots. If your opponent is within 12, it's okay. Other than this, it has an ability called Overwhelming Obliteration. If you didn't move in your movement phase, your Doomsday Cannon getting the ability of devastating wounds. So if you are not moving, then you're hitting on a 2+, and your wound rolls of 6 cause 4 mortal wounds. I wouldn't really move this unit, unless it's necessary. Okay, and the last thing, the big thing, it has a 4+ invulnerable save. So he is great in the I shoot at you and you shoot at me game, thanks to this invulnerable save. Usually I'm not doing this, but I would like to mention a named character, who is an absolute gigachad. Oricon the Diviner. He is a Cryptek. All in all, his profile is not so great. In melee, he can cause some damage, but that's not his main profile. He is a Master Chronomancer, so while this model is leading a unit, that unit have a 4+ invulnerable save, which is really nice. Also, this model has a 4+ invulnerable save. I mentioned he is a Cryptek. This is great, because you can attach him to a unit which already has an attached Royal Warden or Noble model, so he's a really great combination with your basic Necron Overlord. And one more thing about him, once per battle he is able to go Super Saiyan, which means the stars are right ability. Once per battle, at the start of the fight phase, you can choose to use this ability. If you do that, you are able to triple the attack and the strength characteristic of this model's melee weapon, the Staff of Tomorrow. And each time you successfully wound the target of your attacks, it counts as a critical wound, which is really great because his weapon has the ability of devastating wounds. Okay, so basically in one fight phase he can have a lot of attacks and deal an amazing amount of mortal wounds, and that's not bad. On top of the 4+ invulnerable save. Okay, that's it. Let's go to the honorable mentions. Crypteks. All of the Crypteks are really great. My favorite is probably the Technomancer. While this model is leading a unit, you can give that unit a 5+ Feel No Pain ability. Other than this, he can heal one Necron model within 3 inches to him, and that model regains D3 lost wounds. So healing the Cryptotrals or Necron Lich Guards. So it's not bad. He has some war gear and weapons, but that's not really important. He is a really great supporting piece. Or the other good option in my opinion is the Chronomancer, who is also a Cryptek. While he is leading a unit, that unit is harder to hit. The enemy units have to subtract 1 from their hit rolls. And it has another ability, Chronometron. In your shooting phase, after this model's unit has shot, the unit can make a normal move up to 5 inches. But after that, you cannot declare charges. So nice, move, shoot, move. It really helps on your Lich Guard, Immortals, or even your Necron Warriors, because they are slow. There are other Crypteks, like the Plasmancer or the Psychomancer. I'm not saying that they are bad, but the Chronomancer and the Technomancer is just much better. Okay, and the last of the honorable mentions, Reanimator. Well, let's just say, this model is not about damage dealing. It has an okay-ish anti-infantry shooting, a bad pair okay-ish melee weapon profile, but it's also really survivable thanks to its 4+ Feel No Pain. So usually it survives more than it should have. But the main reason why you would like to bring him, because its ability, Nanoscarab Reanimation Beam. It's an aura ability, while a friendly Necron unit is within 12 inches of this model, and that unit uses the reanimation protocol, you can reanimate additional D3 wounds. So this one is really nice. Necron Warriors on an objective with a reanimator nearby, and with an Overlord with a reanimation orb, they reanimate 6 + 4 D3 models each turn. Ugh, that is a lot. So these were my top 5 Necron picks, and one named character, and a lot of honorable mentions. So yeah, if you were hesitating on the Necrons, maybe these things help you to decide. But that's it for now. I would like to thank you all for watching and listening. If you like what I do, please consider subscribing and or liking the video, or even hitting the little bell. If you don't hit the little bell, I will probably upload a video on each week. I hope I see you in the next one. See ya!